Timberline Lodge was constructed in 1937 as a Works Progress Administration project to give growth opportunity to artists and craftsmen. Today, Timberline is a National Historic Landmark of Oregon, standing as the only year-round ski resort in all of North America.
What do I do at Timberline? So I'm the president and area operator. Timberline is a long-term lease with the Forest Service, USDA Forest Service. And so my responsibility is really for the company. And so what I do is I think of my job as getting the best people, and we have great people in the right places to do their job. So I'm responsible for the culture and the work environment, and then direction. So overall direction, and then let the team do their job, and they do it well.
I'm the Director of Public Affairs at Timberline Lodge, and as such I oversee governmental affairs and our outreach here at Timberline, and I am also a liaison with the Forest Service, and the Forest Service is our landlord, if you will. And so that also gets my job into a lot of the facilities issues, which I enjoy. And also, I am in charge of putting our master plan together. What we've got here is a National Historic Landmark, and we strive to preserve that sense of place. And it's really neat. I think that spans generations. So you can bring your grandchildren back, and it is similar to the way you remembered it when you were a kid.
So Timberline was really a social experiment and an economic experiment. In the 30s, the Great Depression was in full swing, and FDR had his New Deal. The whole idea was to have government-sponsored projects that would put people to work.
The goal here was to create a sense of community and to sort of reflect on what it meant to be an American, and part of that was travel and recreation. And the vision here at Timberline was for a ski lodge, for a place for year-round recreation and a place for the people. And so Timberline was put together as a Works Progress Administration project to purposely pair master artists and craftsmen with unskilled workers. So this wasn't just a make-work project like so many of the Depression-era WPA projects were. It was also to teach people the skills and give them the tools of the trade.
And in large part, the funds to build Timberline came from the Federal Arts Project. So there was a tremendous amount of art associated with Timberline, from wood carving to blacksmithing to weaving this couches, the same sort of hand-woven technique that they used at the time, to oil painting, to all sorts of different type of art. It's incorporated in the lodge, and that's one of the cool aspects of it. Everywhere you look at Timberline, whether it's the furniture or the railings, it's all artwork. I think one thing that's important to remember is that skiing was not mainstream back in the late 30s, 40s. We had the issues with World War II, which obviously didn't allow people to vacation very much. But so Timberline had a real tough stretch economically, in part just because of what was going on in the society, but also some mismanagement.
Richard Constam, who was aware of the lodge and would come up skiing on the weekends and so forth, he was a social worker in downtown Portland, heard that the lodge might be closed permanently. It might even be torn down, which is the way that they would take care of buildings that they felt were redundant at that point. And he took the long view. He said, "Oh my gosh, no. This is such an important building, and it's important to the people of Oregon. We need to keep it open and if you'll give it one more chance, I'll take the permit to operate it.
He had a lot of energy and really was focused on Timberline. He had traveled a little bit in Europe and saw the historic buildings in Europe and the fact that they were really successful tourist attractions. So he thought that not only would skiing be a way to make Timberline work, but tourism would be able to make a way for Timberline to succeed economically. So a couple things happened though. In the late 1950s, early 1960s, skiing became much more popular than it ever had been in the United States. And it became sort of mainstream and somewhat glamorous. Where before then it was Boy Scouts and the hardy few people who could even get to the mountain, let alone enjoy skiing. And so those two things combined to make Timberline feasible going forward, and we've just leveraged off of that and improved on it ever since.
And we have done a great deal to the facility, a lot of great improvements to the property and to the ski area. But in a lot of ways, it remains very much the same, and that is actually what we strive for here. Is a sort of a sense of permanence and sameness. So it's one of these rare places, I think, in today's society where you can come back year after year and it hasn't changed. We don't believe in these big shutter down remodels and so forth.
It's a public building and everyone owns Timberline. And we want to keep Timberline and the historic structure of the lodge itself as sort of the iconic feature on the landscape up here. So the developments that we do want to enhance that as opposed to take away from that.
The promise of Timberline is to the public. We offer quality recreation. We offer spectacular hospitality, food and beverage, and we offer it to everyone. And it's a real special place for Oregonians. There's a great sense of pride and ownership amongst Oregonians, and that's what Timberline is, and that's what Timberline was originally intended to be. It's a place for the people, and that's what I think makes Timberline real special.